DOST na setup? Kaya ang negosyo mong ganito, magkakaroon na ng mga machines or equipment na ganito. Take note, no processing fees, no interest, no collateral with 6 months grace period, at pwede mo itong bayaran sa loob pa ng 3 taon.
So, paano mag-apply?
Una, dapat legal ang business. Ikalawa, dapat at least 3 years na ang negosyo mo. Ikatlo, may need ka for equipment upgrading.
Tandaan na ang perang iyong matatanggap ay para lamang sa pambili ng machines or equipment na kailangan sa iyong produksyon.
Hindi pwedeng gamitin pang kapital o proyekto pang construction. Kaya sumama na sa setup ng DOST.
DOST to.
Hindi to scam.
Good afternoon po. Ako po si Faida Ayuyaw, may-ari po ng Panings Homemade Native Delicacies na located dito sa San Antonio Road, Poblacion Pujerona, Tarlac. Una-una po gusto kong magpasalamat sa DOST sa assistance na binigay nila sa akin para magkaroon po ako ng mga equipment na magagamit ko sa aking negosyo. Napakalaking tulong po nito sa akin upang mapadali yung proseso ng paggawa namin ng kanin. At isa pa po ay malaking tulong ngayon, lalo na nasa process po ng recovery dahil masyado mataas ang bilihin sa nakakatipid po na sobra. Sa mga kamukha ko pong mga negosyante na wala pang kapasidad na makabili ng mga equipment na kailangan nyo gamitin, lumapit po kayo sa DOST at tutulungan po nila kayo. Muli po, maraming salamat po sa DOST sa lahat ng tulong. God bless po.
Hello po. Una-una nagpapasalamat po kami sa setup for helping us na mag-improve yung aming quality and speed ng production namin. Actually, we are in our phase 2. So, napakalaking tulong. Nung phase 1 pa lang, napakalaking tulong na sa amin. Nag-provide sila ng embroidery machine. And it helped us to extend our services sa ibang part ng printing industry. Pati na rin sa expansion ng aming clients. Dati Tarlac lang kami, but because of setup, nakakuha na rin kami ng mga client from outside the province and outside the country. So, napakalaking tulong talaga ng setup. And now, dito sa aming phase 2, we've acquired itong roller press na to. And more is coming. And sobrang thankful kami because of this. Nag-increase yung aming production speed and aming production capability ng around 40%. And also yung pagkabawas ng mga rejects sa mga production namin. So nakababa pa yung expenses namin and more income para sa amin. So sa lahat po ng mga gusto or nag-i-start sa business na eligible, I suggest and I encourage you guys na mag-apply kayo sa DOST near you and kausapin nyo sila, go to them. They will always be glad na tulungan tayo sa ating business. Sa DOST setup, thank you very much and I hope marami pa kayong matulungan. And also, God bless you and more power.
Ako si Connie Villena from DC City Naka-avail po ng machine sa DOST. Papasalamat po ako sa DOST at ang ina-aprobahan. Magandang tulong po sa amin to para hindi na po kami mag-rush sa ibang gagawin namin. Hindi kahit ko po yung mga gaya kong may business na mag-apply sa DOST. Malaking tulong po sa mga nagbi-business kagaya ko. Maraming salamat po sa DOST.
a DOST scholar. Of course, may additional 1K stipend na starting this year.
Of course, meron kaming 8,000 a month na stipend.
I am a DOST scholar. Of course, I work hard for the future and I am proud to be one.
We're DOST scholars. Of course, we do outreach programs.
We are DOST scholars. Of course, priority kami pag mag-a-apply ng trabaho.
Pag practice teacher ka, priority ka sa DepEd at ang rango mo ay Special Science Teacher 1 at ang pasweldo mo ay Teacher 3.
You can also get book allowance, thesis allowance, and even a premium insurance. If you have received the stipend, you can also use it to help and ease the burden of your parents.
Kami po ang dreamers na minsan nangarap na umangat sa buhay. At sa tulong ng SES, ay nabigyan kami ng pag-asang posible pala ito. Papasalamat po kami sa DOST, SES, dahil sa kanila, sa tulong po nila, nagkaroon po kami ng pag-asa na makaahon sa hirap.
Let us bow our heads for the opening prayer, followed by the national anthem.
Bow our heads and put ourselves in the presence of the Lord. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for gathering all of us today. May you bestow your guidance and blessings so that we can enjoy and appreciate its significance in our lives. Bless everyone who are present here today, that each one of us may be able to share our knowledge, understanding, and wisdom for your glory and honor. May the various activities related to this event be a success through your intervention. We all ask of this in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.
Kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiliw, elas ang silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dikit mo'y buhay. Lupang binirang, tuyang ka ng magiting, sa mandulupin, di ka pasisigil, sa nagatak tutok sa simoy at sa langit mo babaw, ay hinagang tula, kawin sa pagkayang minamahal, ang isang kang matawad mo'y tagumpay na nagkikinig, mapituwin at araw niya kailan pang ay di magdidinig, lumanang araw ng warhabit pagsingka, buhay langit sa piling mo, ang inigaya na partay ng akin, at mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
To our guests from DOST agencies and regional offices, national government agencies, local government units, and other participants who are present for today's activity, good afternoon. Welcome to the 14th installment of our training program, Tech Tips, Technology Training and Information Promoting Science. Ayan po no, kung napapansin ninyo, meron tayong kasamang sign language interpreter dito sa ating Zoom. Because here in DOST, we promote inclusivity. To briefly introduce our interpreter, she is Ms. Roxanne Joy Manaloto, a passionate and dedicated sign language interpreter with 15 years of experience facilitating effective communication between deaf individuals and hearing clients. Committed to providing inclusive and accessible service to bridge the communication gap. She is driven by a genuine passion for making a positive impact on the lives of deaf individuals and promoting equal access to information and services. She is also actively involved in volunteering with local deaf organizations and advocating for the rights and inclusion of individuals in society. Again, thank you, Ms. Manaloto, for making our tech tips more inclusive. And now, for Tech Tips 14, napapanahong topic ang ihahandog namin para sa inyo. We invited resource speaker from DOST Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration to discuss about El Niño. At may bonus pa na mga information about La Niña. Kaya sa ating mga participants na nandito ngayon, learn and enjoy Tech Tips 014, What's with El Niño? Don't forget to register din sa ating mga participants. Nasa ating chat box ang registration link. Later, after the webinar, ay magsasend naman kami ng evaluation link para makakuha po kayo ng e-certificates. Moreover, we are also live sa ating Facebook page at Department of Science and Technology Tarlac. Kaya naman sa mga hindi ma-accommodate sa ating Zoom, you can catch us sa ating Facebook. Now, to formally start our webinar, may I call on the mind behind
Sanjoy, no? It's the first time na makasama natin si Miss Roxanne to help us interpret itong ating tech tips for our mga kababayan na may mga hearing impairment. Yan. So, para mas maging inclusive, sabi nga ni Dan kanina. Okay, at napapanahon din, we are advocating for God, 'di ba? Ayan, so maraming salamat at good afternoon to all the participants in Zoom and also sa Facebook Live. And welcome to DOST3 PSTO Tarlac Tech Tips. What is Tech Tips? No, technology, training, and information promoting science. And allow me first to acknowledge yung ating mga participants. We have participants from the different provincial S&T offices of the DOST. I'm seeing participants from Aurora, Bataan, Bulacan, Nueva Ecija, Zambales, Pampanga, no? And also ang mga ating LGUs. Kanina kamiting ko lang yung mga taga PDRRMO. Shout out po sa inyo dyan. And thank you po for disseminating this training to our local DREAM officers. May mga participants tayo from LGU. I guess from the DREAM office po itong mga to. Good afternoon po sa inyo. At kasama din natin ang mangilan sa mga science and technology coordinators natin dito sa Tarlac. Okay, and of course, our gratitude also goes to the STEAM resource person from Pag-asa. Salamat po, ma'am, for accommodating our request. And the 14th episode of Tech Tips focuses on providing public awareness on El Niño. And sabi nga ni Dan kanina, no, yung La Nina climate outlook. Kasi we have been hearing news about provinces who are experiencing dry spell or drought for the last months, and almost 358 million worth of agricultural damages and losses have been recorded. So napakarami. And now, naririnig natin sa news, no, that El Niño is gradually weakening, but the impact on the global climate may be experienced in the coming months pa din. So kahit papahina na siya, the impact ay still may experience po natin, no? And what are those? Siguro yung mga increased risk of heavy rainfall. Kaya may nababasa na rin tayo, no, na parang after El Niño, andyan sila Nina. So kaya minarapat namin to have our speaker discuss also yung about La Nina. And this is important for us to be ready sa mga hazards. And more than anyone else in the world, dapat ang Pilipino, sa Philippines, ang pinakahanda dapat sa mga weather hazards because according to World Risk Report noong 2023, the Philippines has the highest disaster risk index, no, among 193 countries. Imagine tayo yung pinakamataas ang risk pagdating sa hazards of all the 193 countries with 46.86 index, no? Second sa atin is Indonesia, followed by India. And this is because we have relatively high exposure sa mga malalakas na bagyo because on the east, we have the Pacific Ocean na pinagmumulan ng malalakas na bagyo. We have high vulnerability and lack of coping and adaptive capacities. And this underscores the importance of acquiring knowledge about climate hazards, enabling us to enhance our preparedness. And sabi nga nila, no, we cannot manage and effectively prepare on something that we do not know and understand. That's why importante po itong mga webinars na ito para malaman natin at makapaghanda tayo. And I invite everyone in attendance today to learn directly from our National Weather Bureau, ang Pag-asa. Okay, magandang hapon po muli at maraming salamat.
Okay, thank you so much, Ma'am Kay. And of course, congratulations. And we are hoping for a more tech tips. And so here we go. Just a reminder lang po again sa mga hindi pa nakapag-register, just click the link on the chat box. So ready na po ba ang lahat? If yes, can you type G sa ating chat box? G, 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 G. Okay, so let's start with our webinar. To introduce our speaker, she completed her bachelor's degree Chemical Engineering at Colegio San Agustin in Bacolod, Negros Occidental. She is also a graduate of Master of Science and Technology in Spatial Information at the University of New South Wales, Sydney, Australia. She is currently a senior weather specialist at the Climate Monitoring and Prediction section Climatology and Agrometeorology Division of DOST-PAG. Her scope of work involves seasonal climate monitoring and forecasting on the drivers that influence the country's weather and climate conditions, including ENSO or the El Niño and La Niña. She is also involved in various studies related to climate variability and climate change. Please join me welcome our speaker for today, Ms. Rusy Garcia Abastillas. Hello, ma'am.
Hello, good afternoon, and thank you for this opportunity to share our information to our colleagues from the OST, Region 3. Okay, allow me to share my presentation. I like just to put off my... Nakikita na po ba? Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Opo, nakikita na po.
Sige. So let's start. Just medyo mahina lang yung aming internet data. Okay, so nakikita na po na.
Yes, ma'am. Opo.
Okay. Okay, so our topic for this afternoon Tech Tips 01. So this is the 14th na ba na webinar na pinakonduct ng PSDO Tarlac. Am I right? Okay, so our topic is what's with El Nino. So, yun nga, tulad din sinabi kanina na Miss Karen, sa opening niya, hindi na siya El Nino kasi aware na rin pala yung kababayan natin tungkol doon sa developing na La Nina. So, this is already ENSO. Pero, focus din muna tayo sa El Nino since ito pa rin yung ang ating ongoing na climate conditions sa ngayon na pinabantayan ang impact in the siguro mga April or May. So, let's start. So the outline of my presentation includes a brief overview of weather and climate drivers, and then the weather systems affecting the Philippines or our country. Then I'll just show the climate types in the Philippines as of now. And then, kasi baka may na magbabago in the later years. Pero, next year, pero sa ngayon, ito pa rin yung gamit natin na climate types. And then EMS and its impacts on climate, and then the seasonal outlook and the potential impacts to provinces tulad sinabi kanina ni Ma'am Karen tungkol dun sa mga dry spell and drought na potential areas na baka matatamaan, and then what are the actions taken by DOST, PAG-asa, and DOST na rin as a whole. So let's just first have an introduction on weather and climate. So pag sinabi natin kasing weather, siguro na ang iba aware na din ito na it's just a short-term state of the atmosphere kung saan it could change from hours, minutes or hours, and na siya short-term, so it could change daily. So ito po yung ating laging pinapakinggan sa news, sa radio, sa mga television, kung ano ba yung makaka-apekto na panahon ngayon sa atin or sa susunod na araw. So that includes yung temperature, rainfall, wind, cloudiness, and as well as yung pressure kung meron bang low pressure or high pressure. And then, ano naman yung climate? So it's just the average of all the weather patterns na ating nararanasan for a long period of time. So the per WMO or World Meteorological Organization standard, ang sinasabi nating climate, which is a normal climate, is the average of a 3-decade na data or the 3 consecutive 10 years, that is 30 years na average ng ating data for a particular station natin sa buong Pilipinas. So in this example, we have the climate normals for a station here in Quezon City in Science Garden. So the latest ngayon na ginagamit natin na climate normals, the 1991 to 2020, wherein makikita na natin yung long-term pattern ng ating climate. Kailan siya mas maulan, kailan siya mas konti yung ulan, at ilan ba yung number of rainy days siya in a month. And then as well as yung temperature, Alam natin po, malalaman natin based din sa data natin na in-observe araw-araw kung ano ba ang buwan na pinakamainit, ano bang pinakamalamig na buwan doon sa particular area and for that particular station. So in general, weather is what you get and climate is what you expect. So you could prepare for the climate kung ano yung nabawa, pupunta ka sa isang lugar na alam mo na ang climate dyan is maulan. So you could prepare kung ano ba yung mga dapat mong dalhin na para makapag-protect sa atin against the mga adverse impacts ng ating inaasahan na klima sa isang lugar. And then, ito naman yung nagda-drive. This just brief lang to na mga overview for what are the drivers na nagpapabago sa ating klima. So these are just the natural change in the wind systems or weather, yung wind systems natin, ang mga tinatawag natin din minsan yung mga semi-permanent na highs and lows and then the position of the IPCC, which is ito din yung isang nagda-drive ng climate natin kung bakit may mga seasonal changes tayo sa ating climate. And ang isa ka pinaka main driver or energy galing sa ating araw and then due to the tilt of our ating mundo and the position doon sa sun. So kung saan yung may maximum heating, nandoon yung mas mainit na panahon and then nandoon yung low pressure and then kung mas natatakpan siya or nakatilt siya away from the sun, doon naman yung may high pressure kasi mas malamig. So ito po yung ating monthly migration ng ating wind systems as well as kung makikita natin yung H, ibig sabihin high yan, ang L is low. And then ito yung main position ng IPCC na nag-oscillate siya north and south of the equator and as well as the country depending on what month of the year. Ba't hindi siya tumatakbo? Ayan. Kala ko na nag-stop lang pala. So makikita natin yung position and then the position of the highs and lows na nagbabago siya per month. So pag panahon ng taglamig, ang high pressure natin is over the Asian mainland. And dito sa atin, naapektuhan tayo ng mas malamig na panahon during the northern hemisphere winter. And pag northern hemisphere summer, nandito naman yung mga lows kaya mas maulan din sa atin. So dito mas makikita natin na ang position ng IPCC nag-vary siya, nag-oscillate siya depending kung saan yung ating lows. At sumusunod siya doon sa low pag napapansin natin. Kasi ang IPCC is just the series of low pressure areas din na kung saan this is a linear system kasi. So nakaka-apekto siya sa atin. Ang main position niya is nandito siya sa ating bansa pag panahon na start ng panahon na papunta sa habagat season at saka pag-peak na ng habagat natin nandun siya sa taas ng ating sa Luzon, na northern Luzon at siya bumababa siya during the winter monsoon season. And for the summary na niya, makikita natin ito. Pag during the northern hemisphere summer, winter, usually niya peak is December, January, February. And it is also the sun's maximum heating is towards the south. So makikita natin na dito yung low pressure natin sa south of the equator. And then the IPCC shifts to the south din also pag winter kasi nandito yung low. And then ang ating northeast monsoon, ito nandito yung high sa Asiatic mainland. Kaya yung ating hangin is nagpo-flow siya from the Asiatic mainland, magpo-cross siya over the country, magiging northeast monsoon. And then the amihan takes place. And this usually happens during the month of January. This is the mean. And then pag July naman, which is panahon naman ng Northern Hemisphere summer, or June, July, August, ang Northern Hemisphere summer, ang maximum heating naman is shifts to the north. Kaya nandito yung ating mga low pressure. And then the IPCC also shifts to the north. Ang mid position niya, papunta na siya sa Northern Luzon. And the habagat season or southwest monsoon season takes place. And another factor that affects the climate is the geographical location and the topography of the country. So, ito yung example, kung may bundok sa isang lugar, may mataas na bundok, once we have the wind coming from, for example, in this example, coming from the west, once may mataas na bundok, what we call the orographic effect, na kung saan the windward side ng bundok, kung saan siya galing, magkakaroon siya ng magko-collide siya, and then this air mass is magiging aakyat. So magkakaroon ka dyan ng convergence, and then magkakaroon ka ng condensation that turns into clouds, and then it turns into, once it condenses, it forms into clouds, and then pag saturated na siya, it would form as rain, and then concentrated lang siya at the windward side of the mountain, and the other side of the mountain, since this is already the rain shadow ng cloud natin, ang air naman dito is descending or pababa, kaya wala kang magpo-form na cloud. So this windward side of the mountain has rays, dito naman sa kabila, wala kang makikita na cloudiness, kaya mas fair yung weather mo dito kaysa compared dito sa western side. Pero kung yung hangin mo naman galing dito sa east, dito naman yung windward side, kung saan galing yung hangin, nandun yung windward side. Ang kabilang side naman is what we call the rain shadow region or the leeward side. So dito naman yung vice versa siya. And for the local effect, we have what we call the land breeze and sea breeze. So during the day, since the land heats faster than the water, so yung mas mainit natin is sa land. So this during the day, we have what we call the sea breeze, kung saan yung cooler na hangin, nandoon nanggagaling yung hangin. So during the day, the sea is cooler, so yung breeze natin is from the high pressure, kasi once we have cooler yung environment, nandoon yung high pressure, ang warmer is the low pressure. So the flow of the air is like a liquid, since it is also fluid, from the high to low. So during the day, we have the sea breeze, and paggabi naman, the wind, since the land heats are cools faster than the water, so ang naman, mas mabilis na lumamig yung ating land. So we have the land breeze at night. So the sea is warmer. So nandito naman yung low, nandito yung high. So yung flow is always from high to low. So we have the land breeze at night and the sea breeze during the day. So yun ang local effect ng ating type of weather advice. And these are the weather systems affecting the country for a particular season. So from November to February, this is the amihan season. So ito yung ating hangin. Nandito yung high pressure. So during the northeast monsoon season, so this covers the amihan or northeast monsoon season. So the cold wind is coming from the northeast. It flows towards the country, and it could bring cold weather at colder temperature, and then the rainfall is drizzle. And usually, pag mayroon tayong amihan, the wind is stronger. And then another weather system that affect the country during this period are the shear line, or yung meeting of the cold air and the warmer air from the easterlies. So nagkakaroon siya ng zone kung saan sila nag-meet. Yung zone na yon kung saan sila nag-meet is what we call the shear line. Formerly, we call it the tail end of the cold front. And it could bring cloudy skies and heavy rains and also thunderstorms, kung saan minsan isa din siya sa mga cause ng pagbabaha o yung landslides pag nakatutok yung shear line doon sa isang lugar. And then for the April and May naman, ito naman na yung panahon ng tag-init natin, or the warm and dry season, kung saan yung prevailing naman na weather system that could affect the country is the usually may mga high pressure tayo area, and then yung ITCZ natin towards the papunta na rin yan sa northern part of the country, yung oscillate na siya towards the north. And sorry, lagi ko nakikita yung admit, natatakpan yung aking slide. And the ridge of high pressure, or ang sinabi natin ridge of high pressure, that is the extension of the high pressure towards a place or a region that could bring clearer skies and warmer weather or hot weather. And then the easterly, ito naman yung panahon na kung saan meron tayong transition. This is the transition period, April and May, also sa May, transition period natin towards the southwest monsoon. Kaya yung prevailing wind din natin dito is the easterlies, kung saan yung hangin natin ay galing sa Pacific. And it would bring hot and moist air from the Pacific with yes, with some amount of moisture or hot, moist air that could bring humid weather. And ito din yung panahon na kung saan since sobrang init and kaya nagkakaroon tayo na mas mabilis yung ating evaporation and convection. Kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng mga localized thunderstorms which is frequent during this period, during these months. And then the intertropical convergence zone nga, so doon sinabi ko, from the southern hemisphere, it oscillates towards the northern hemisphere pag ganitong panahon. But this intertropical convergence zone, isa din siya itong weather system that could bring cloudy skies and heavy rains with thunder and lightning. And also, kung talagang conducive yung ating environment, it could form into a tropical cyclone or breeding ground ng ating mga tropical cyclones. And for June to September naman, ito naman yung panahon ng habagat kung saan it is the warm winds coming from the southwest with ample amount of moisture. And it could bring cloudy and rainy weather, especially in the western sections of the country. Ang naapektuhan. And also this is the season kung saan active din ang ating tropical cyclone or what we call the active season for tropical cyclone na development. Alam natin yung mga hazards that will be the tropical cyclone brings is the strong wind, heavy rain, and sometimes it could cause din yung mga storm surges or huge or mamalaking mga large waves. Yan. So these are just the mga usual na mga weather systems and kung kailan siya mas nakaka-apekto sa ating bansa. And this one is the precipitation amount kung saan it could vary, it could change in based on the two monsoon seasons. So for wet season or the habagat season, this is the average rainfall for April to September, wherein nakikita natin yung average na maximum rainfall is over the western side of Luzon, and then the eastern side and some parts of the country are just lesser in amount, but concentrated on more than 300 or more than 500 millimeters is usually recorded or observed in these areas. So including Tarlac, which is also climate siguro type 1. And then for the dry season or amihan season naman, the average rainfall for October to March, ang concentration naman ng ating rainfall is over the eastern section of the country from Luzon, Visayas down to Mindanao area. And for the Philippine climate types, these are the patterns of based on rainfall distribution in the country for the whole year. So for climate type 1, ito po yung mga areas na shaded by red. So these are the climate type 1. And this is the pattern of climate type 1 wherein we could see that from January to April, napakababa yung ulan or more or less halos less than 50 millimeters. But it has a maximum rain period during the habagat season starting from June, July, August until September, and then it goes down again from November to December. So in this climate type, we have two pronounced seasons, the dry from November to April and wet for the rest of the year. And the maximum rain period is July to September. So ito po yung mga areas na greatly affected or exposed to the southwest monsoon or habagat. And then ang type 2 naman, or these are the areas in the eastern sections of the country, ito naman yung climate, yung kanyang pattern, which is wala siyang dry season. Pag tinignan mo dito yung ating rainfall, this is the amount of rainfall. So all over the year, meron siyang ulan, but it has a maximum rain period during the last quarter of the year o during the amihan season din. So ito makikita natin yung pattern niya. And for the climate type 3, in between climate type 1 and type 2, we have climate type 3. So ito yung mga areas sa gitna ng ating bansa. And then ang pattern niya, parang similar siya sa climate type 1, but it has two peaks, which is affected din siya ng northeast monsoon. So makikita natin, but it has not very pronounced during habagat season kasi natatakpan din siya hindi din siya gaano ka-expose doon sa ating habagat. Relatively dry din siya during November to April and wet for the rest of the year. Pero ang kanyang drier period is much greater compared to doon sa climate type 1 na talagang halos wala siyang ulan during the northeast monsoon. Meron siya maraming ulan pag habagat season. And for climate type 4, itong mga areas dito sa part gitna ng Bicol region, Visayas, as well as marami sa Mindanao, ito po yung kanyang pattern ng rainfall is more or less evenly distributed throughout the year. Meron siyang ulan na throughout the year na more or less wala siyang masyadong peak. And ito yung magandang na climate type kasi halos evenly distributed yung kanyang ulan. And itong mga areas, this is an example of ito mas mababa kasi I think this is for the area, for the station in Jensen. But in other areas like for the Visayas region, climate type 4 niya is marami siyang ulan all throughout the year. So ito yung pattern niya, halos wala siyang gaano. So these are the 4 climate types in the Philippines. And for Tarlac, generally climate affected siya ng climate type 1. And this is for the tropical cyclone frequency in the Philippines. Ang talagang pinakamaraming tropical cyclone in a 1 by 1 degree from 1948 to 2019 na data ay dito sa Northern Luzon area, 5 in 4 years. And then in the area dito sa Central Luzon is once in every year ang frequency. And in Mindanao, makikita natin na less than 1 in 10 years dito sa Central. And in the southern part, hindi ibig sabihin na wala siyang bagyo, but it could have but once in 30 years, napakadaan lang. So hindi siya imposible pala na may dadaan ng bagyo dito sa southern part of Mindanao, sa south of Mindanao. Pero pinaka-least. And for paano ba ano ba contribution ng tropical cyclone sa ating rainfall? Without tropical cyclones, ang ating ulan is mas mababa. So it contributes about 20 to 70% of the total rainfall in Luzon, with greater effect during the June, July, August season dito sa habagat season and September, October, November season. So makikita natin na during this quarter, this season, talaga napakalaki ng contribution ng ating tropical cyclones. So without tropical cyclones na dumaan sa ating bansa, so malaki kabawasan sa ating ulan. And this could result kasi pag June, July, August, even though na yung ating mga bagyo is hindi siya naglalandfall, even if nasa extreme northern Luzon, it could enhance the southwest monsoon, kaya nagkakaroon ng mga pag-uulan dito sa western sections of the country especially. The same is true during the September, October, November season. Kahit minsan yung bagyo natin is nasa southern part of the country, ma-enhance niya rin yung northeast monsoon, kaya malaki din yung impact niya dito sa north, sa parte ng Luzon. And for the climatological track of, this is for the number of tropical cyclones that crossed Metro Manila for the period. Sorry, Metro Manila nakalagay dito. So we have this for Tarlac. Sorry, I forgot to change this one. So we could see na meron tayong climatology, ilang bagyo ba ang dumaan sa isang province or region based doon sa ating historical data. So ito naman sa Metro Manila na kung saan makikita natin na we have more typhoons and also super typhoons, and mas lesser yung percentage ng ating mga depression, tropical storm, and also severe tropical storm. And the maximum amount na frequency is during October na nag-cross within this area. Siguro same lang din sa atin sa Tarlac kasi mas malapit din sa Central Luzon. Okay, I think I have to to show na muna itong video. Let's hear a video first for the nasa second ano na pala ako. Hindi ko siya
Ang Pilipinas ay isa sa mga bansang madalas tamaan ng mga bagyo at iba't ibang natural hazards. Dahil dito, kinakailangan na mas mapaigting pa natin ang ating kapasidad upang tayo ay maging resilient sa mga epektong dulot nito. Ang pag-asa video na ito ay tutulungan tayong maintindihan ang kahulugan, katangian at iba't ibang epekto ng El Niño Southern Oscillation o ENSO. Ang El Niño Southern Oscillation o ENSO ay isang natural climate pattern na nangyayari tuwing nag-i-interact ang ating atmosphere at karagatan, partikular sa gitna at silanging bahagi ng Dagat Pasipiko o Pacific Ocean. Isang halimbawa ng interaksyon nito ay ang malawakang pag-init at paglamig ng temperatura ng ibabaw ng Tropical Pacific. Ang pagbabago ng temperatura sa Niño 3.4 region ay ang nagsisilbing gabay ng ating mga pag-asa climatologists upang ma-determine kung may paparating na El Niño o La Niña events. Nagagawa nila ito sa pagsukat ng Sea Surface Temperature o SST sa Niño 3.4 region ng Central at Eastern Equatorial Pacific. Ang El Niño at La Niña ay parehong parte ng yugto ng El Niño Southern Oscillation o ENSO. Ang El Niño ay ang warm phase ng ENSO at kadalasang tumatagal ng 8 hanggang 12 buwan. Ang isang El Niño event ay karaniwang nangyayari kada 2 hanggang 7 taon. Samantala, ang malalakas na El Niño ay kadalasang nangyayari kada 10 hanggang 15 taon. Ano-ano ang mga senyales na may paparating na isang El Niño event? Una, mainit na temperatura ng karagatan. Pangalawa, mahinang hangin galing silangan. At pangatlo, kakaunting ulap na nagdudulot ng kakaunting mga pagulan. Ilan sa mga epekto ng El Niño ay ang mga sumusunod. Pagkaantala ng panahon ng tag-ulan, mas mahabang panahon ng tagtuyot, mas mababang dami ng ulan kaysa normal, at mas kakaunting bilang ng mga bagyo na pumapasok sa loob ng Philippine Area of Responsibility o PAR. Ngunit, kapag may pumasok o nabuong bagyo sa loob ng PAR, ay pwede nitong ma-enhance ang southwest monsoon o hanging habagat na maaaring magdulot ng mga pag-ulan, lalong-lalo na sa western sections ng bansa. Ang La Niña naman ay ang cold phase ng ENSO at kadalasang tumatagal ng 1 hanggang 3 taon. Ang isang La Niña event ay karaniwang nangyayari kada 3 hanggang 4 na taon. Nangyayari ito kapag ang mean sea surface temperature sa Niño 3.4 region ay mas mababa ng 0.5 degrees Celsius o higit pa kaysa normal. Ano-ano ang mga senyales na may paparating na La Niña event? Una, malamig na temperatura ng karagatan kaysa normal. Pangalawa, malakas na hangin galing silangan. At pangatlo, maraming ulap na nagdudulot ng madalas na pag-ulan. Narito naman ang ilan sa mga epekto ng La Niña. Mas mahabang panahon ng tag-ulan, kaakibat yan ng mas maraming dami ng ulan. Mas maraming bilang ng mga bagyo na pumapasok sa loob ng Philippine Area of Responsibility at mas malamig na panahon tuwing amihan season.
Okay. So, in just a recap, yung, malinaw naman, yung narinig nyo kanina?
Yes,
Give me
ma'am. Clear po.
Okay, so, yun. Yung, ano ba yung ENSO? What is ENSO? So, just a recap, it is a naturally occurring phenomenon, tulad ng sinabi kanina sa video natin, and it could result, it's a naturally occurring phenomenon, part siya ng ating tinatawag na natural climate variability that results from the interaction between the ocean and the atmosphere at the central and eastern equatorial. So dito siya nangyayari sa tropical Pacific at kung ano yung nangyayari na pagbabago dito doon kay sa karaniwan o sa normal, yun ay nagkaka-apekto sa ating klima dito sa atin sa Pilipinas. And not only just in the Philippines but globally, it could affect the climate na pwede magbago yung pattern ng tinatawag natin na climate system doon sa isang particular area ng lugar. So iba-iba yung impact niya dito sa atin. And sa Western Pacific against doon sa Eastern Pacific, magkakasalungat yung impact. And then we just focus dito sa atin sa Pilipinas. And it has two components since it is an air-sea interaction. So that is the oceanic components, and then for the southern oscillation, it is the atmospheric component wherein kung ano yung pagbabago ng temperatura ng ating karagatan ay ito ay may interaction doon sa ating atmosphere, kaya nagkakaroon ng pagbabago yung ating tinatawag na climate system, kaya nagbabago din yung pattern ng ating climate in terms of rainfall especially and temperature. So these are the three. May tatlong phases din ng ating ENSO. Kung wala tayong El Nino or La Nina, meron tayong ay tinatawag natin na sa ENSO neutral condition. And this is what happens during the ENSO neutral condition. This is during the December, January, February season, especially, or the northern hemisphere winter season wherein yung ating karagatan dito sa Eastern Pacific is cooler dito kaysa dito sa Western Pacific. So since the flow ng ating hangin is from the cooler or the high pressure area, since if the ating karagatan is cooler, that is for high pressure, nandito yung low pressure. So the flow is always from the high to low. So ang ating trade winds is the blowing towards the western part of the country. So nandito tayo ang Pilipinas. So during ENSO neutral condition, this is the flow of the wind papunta dito sa Western Pacific. Kaya nagkakaroon tayo dito ng nagpa-pile up yung warmer waters dito sa Western Pacific. Malapit dito sa Pilipinas, kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng convection dito, evaporation and then convection, nagkakaroon ng convergence. Kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng pag-uulan, especially during the December, January, February season, at nakaka-apekto ito sa ating eastern sections of the country during ENSO neutral condition. Pero pag may El Nino tayo, since nagkakaroon ng warming dito sa tropical Pacific, kaya ito po yung nangyayari. Instead of this warmer waters na magpa-pile up dito sa Western Pacific, kabaligtaran yung nangyayari. So this is cooler than the tropical Pacific. Kaya yung ating flow or the water circulation, itong tinatawag water circulation, nagkakaroon ng displacement instead of this convergence na nagkaroon dito sa malapit sa Western Pacific. Dito siya nagkakaroon ng convection dito sa Central Pacific, kaya na-deviate dito sa malapit sa atin, kaya less yung ating convection or less yung ating rainfall or reduced chance of rain dito sa atin sa Pilipinas pag meron tayong warm phase of ENSO or what we call the El Nino. So this is what happened. So instead of this rainfall na malapit sa atin na magkakaroon tayo ng rainfall during this time of the year, na di-display siya, kaya napupunta siya dito sa Central Pacific away from the Philippines, kaya reduce yung ating chance of rain, kaya mas mababa yung ulan natin during this period. At pag may La Nina naman tayo, parang enhance na din siya ng ating ENSO neutral, wherein nagiging mas malamig yung hangin dito sa Central and Eastern Equatorial Pacific. So nagiging mas malakas yung ating trade winds or the easterlies natin, kaya nagkakaroon ng mas maraming napapile up yung ating warmer waters dito sa Western Pacific, kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng mas maraming chances of rains during this period, kaya mas maraming ulan pag may La Nina tayo. Yan. So yun lang yung difference ng three phases of ENSO neutral, El Nino, and La Nina, or the food phase of ENSO. And ano ba yung tinitingnan natin ng indicators for indicating indicators, paano natin malalaman kung meron tayong El Nino o La Nina or ENSO neutral. So dalawang pinaka-major indicator is that una is the oceanic indicator wherein we monitor the sea surface temperature anomaly doon sa tropical Pacific or what we call the Niño region. So particular tayo dito sa 3.4 because this is the region kung saan kinukuha natin yung index or this is the central of the equatorial Pacific. The Niño 3.4 which is the most cold na na region kung saan may mas ang the interaction between the atmosphere and the ocean is active. So dito makikita natin na pag less than 0.5 yung ating anomaly, it denotes La Nina. Pag greater than 0.5 or greater, that is for El Nino. So values beyond this red line denotes El Nino. Values below this blue line denotes La Nina. So last 2022 hanggang 2023, below the red line, the blue line, meron tayong La Nina during this time, which is yung pinakamatagal, which is what we call the triple dip La Nina, and then it was followed by a short na ENSO neutral, and then again in July we have the developing El Nino during May, and then in June, July, nagkaroon na tayo ng El Nino hanggang sa ngayon, which is nagkaroon pa nga ng hanggang 2 degrees na anomaly. So depending on the anomaly or the index, pag sinabi natin weak siya, pwede siya maging weak, moderate to strong. So it starts from a weak El Nino and then nag-peak siya ng December, which is 2 degrees, and then now, pababa na rin siya, nasa moderate na siya at this time of as a pinaka-latest natin na monitor na si surface temperature anomaly. And then another indicator is the atmospheric indicator or the Southern Oscillation Index na tinatawag, which is the difference naman ng pressure between Tahiti and Darwin. So ito naman baligtad. Pag positive siya, that denotes La Nina. Pag negative siya, that denotes El Nino. So pag positive yung ating SST anomaly, negative yung ating Southern Oscillation Index. Pag negative naman, ang ating Southern Oscillation Index is positive. So makikita natin dito ang kaibahan. Kasi ito, kapag may high pressure tayo sa Tahiti and low pressure sa Darwin, ibig sabihin mas mataas pressure sa Tahiti, nandun yung mas mainit, mas malamig na karagatan. Dito naman sa atin ang mas mainit malapit sa Western Pacific, kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng El Nino. Pag negative naman, mas mataas yung pressure naman dito sa Darwin against doon sa Tahiti. Nagkaroon naman tayo ng low pressure dyan, kaya negative siya. Kaya El Nino pala. So ano ba yung mga impacts ng ENSO? So these are the monthly rainfall, mean rainfall distribution for the 3 phases. Kung saan makikita natin dito from January up to December kung kailan mas maraming ulan. Pag red, ibig sabihin mas mababa yung ulan. Pag blue, mas maraming ulan. This is in terms of millimeter. So January, February, March hanggang April, makikita natin na the western sections of the country talaga naman normally has mababa ang ulan. And then papunta ka ng from May, June, July hanggang from May to June, nagkakaroon ka ng karagdagan sa ulan in all over the country. And then makikita natin dito from July, August, and September na concentration na sa bagat season, mas maraming ulan dito sa western sections of Luzon. And then pag October, November, December naman, nag-shift na yung mas maraming ulan dito sa eastern sections of Luzon as well as Visayas and Mindanao hanggang December. So this is what happened during El Nino. Makikita natin na talagang given na mas mababa yung ulan hanggang April. Pero dito makikita natin, tinatawag natin reversal during July, August, September, wherein instead of ito lang yung ulan natin during July, mas dumami yung ulan. So ito yung tinatawag na seasonal reversal ng ating ENSO during this period, pag habagat season, mas maraming, instead of expecting na below normal yung ating rainfall during this time of the year, mas maraming ulan during this period. And then pag La Nina naman, nakikita din natin yung kaibahan. Kumukonti naman yung ulan niya during La Nina. So dito sa pattern na ito, i-compare mo dun sa neutral, mas kukonti yung ulan niya during the July, August, September season compared mo dito sa neutral. So ibig kong sabihin nito na during El Nino and La Nina, there is a reversal in the rainfall distribution. Pag in-expect natin pag may pag may El Nino tayo, mas maraming ulan kung kabagat season, especially this in the western sections of the country. Pag La Nina naman, less yung ulan naman natin during this period. Ang impact naman ng mas maraming ulan is during the last quarter of the year. Compared mo naman dito, mas maraming dew. Ibig sabihin, mas wetter yung ating lalong-lalo na sa eastern sections of the country. And also in October, mas maraming ulan in Luzon as well as in Bicol region. Nakikita natin yung difference. Mas nadagdagan yung ulan pag may La Nina. And ang impact naman ng El Nino, from the last quarter of the year, mas bumababa yung ulan. Kaya mostly, ang makikita natin na yung impact is during the last quarter up to the first quarter of the succeeding year. Same is true with La Nina. Reverse na yung impact ng dalawang phases ng ENSO. And in terms naman, impacts niya naman sa mga bagyo, pag may ito yung tropical cyclones, this is for neutral and La Nina years in blue. So makikita natin na during ENSO neutral conditions, ito yung anomaly in terms of anomaly. So maraming bagyo during ENSO neutral. Pero pagdating na meron tayong El Nino or La Nina during the first quarter, throughout the 4 quarters of the year, mas less yung ating bagyo is negative yung anomaly, ibig sabihin yan. But if we have a La Nina at the last quarter of the year, we can see there is mas maraming bagyo compared mo doon sa ENSO neutral. So ibig sabihin, during the La Nina, at last quarter of the year, we expect more tropical cyclones. And then, ang landfalling, ganun din, during La Nina, April, May, June, since this is positive, mas maraming bagyo kaysa na nagla-landfall during April, May, June, and October, November, December. Compared mo doon sa ENSO neutral. Ito na pinapakita ng ating graph na ito. And bakit magkakaroon tayo ng mas maraming bagyo and mas kukonti yung bagyo during El Nino? So this is where the tropical cyclones formed. So pag may El Nino tayo, since the warmer waters is in the Central Pacific, Central and Eastern Equatorial Pacific, so napo-form sila malayo dito sa atin sa Pilipinas, kaya the track of tropical cyclone on the movement is usually northwest siya. So pagdating dito malapit sa atin, nagre-recurve na siya bago siya pumasok ng far. Pero pag La Nina naman, since the warmer waters is malapit dito sa atin, since older dito sa tropical Pacific, yung formation ng ating or development ng mga bagyo natin malapit dito sa atin sa Western Pacific, kaya mostly yung mga bagyo is pumapasok dito sa ating Philippine area of responsibility, and most of it are making landfall in the Philippines. But in terms of the average na monthly frequency, still annual frequency, I mean, the annual TC average is 90 to 20 na mga bagyo pa rin ang ating in terms of average. And in terms naman sa El Nino years, ano ang epekto ng El Nino sa ENSO sa bagyo sa Pilipinas? So these are during El Nino years, the average of tropical cyclone frequency entering the FAR from 1960 to 2021, kung saan makikita natin na during El Nino years, more tropical cyclones during July entered the country compared to doon sa ENSO neutral, and this is the average. So mas maraming bagyo in terms of historical data natin ang pumapasok sa FAR during July, and maraming bagyo during La Nina years in October. And for the category naman, mas maraming super typhoon category ang pumapasok sa atin sa Pilipinas during El Nino years, the super typhoon in September, October, and November, compared mo doon sa mga typhoon and severe tropical storm or tropical depression category. Pag may El Nino, mas malakas yung bagyo during September, October, November. And then the landfalling also during October and November, mostly during El Nino years, mostly ang landfall super typhoon category in October and November. Ano ano naman yung impact ng ating ENSO sa ating rainfall in terms of the different climate types in the Philippines. So, since pag climate type 1, as I have explained a while ago, yung climate type niya na may pronounced season siya from yung caused by habagat. So, dito makikita natin yung reversal. Pag may El Nino tayo, may deficit siya all throughout the season, sa 3 seasons, sa wet season, amihan season, dry season. Pero during habagat season, we could expect a surplus or mas maraming ulan during the June, July, August season compared to dun sa other seasons of the year. So dito makikita natin ang reversal dito sa climate type 1, including Tarlac. Tarlac. And then for climate type 2, dito sa areas in the eastern section of the country, iba naman yung impact na ENSO. All throughout the year, pag may El Nino ka, meron kang deficit. And all throughout the year, pag La Nina, meron kang surplus. So makikita natin dito, ito yung normal. Ito yung shaded na green. Ito yung surplus during La Nina ng rainfall. Ito naman yung pag El Nino na may deficit. So, talagang ang kanyang pattern magkaiba depending on the climate type. And then for climate type 3, dito rin makikita na similar, halos similar yung climate type 1 and type 3, dito rin makikita. Pero yung surplus during habagat season is less compared to doon sa type 1. And also there is a deficit during La Nina dito sa during La Nina dito sa climate type 3. So this is represented here by the Romblon na station, and this one is for San Jose. And this for climate type 4 naman, ito yung Tacloban station, ang sinabi ko kanina na yung kanyang pattern of rainfall more or less evenly distributed throughout the year, pero yung kanyang amount naman, since this is exposed doon sa eastern section or eastern Visayas area, mas maraming ulan siya compared to doon sa Mindanao area na halos 100 millimeters na doon. So dito din makikita natin yung iba din yung pattern ng impact ng rainfall, ng ENSO sa rainfall. Marami din ulan during La Nina, especially during the DJF and dry season. And pag may El Nino naman, deficit siya. And during the wet season, there is a small deficit. And then during habagat, there is a deficit for this particular station in Tacloban station. And this is the cascading effect of El Nino, or the hazard domino effect, and its potential risk to agriculture. So if we have an El Nino, these are the primary hazards. Usually, pag may El Nino tayo, we could experience above normal temperature, mas mainit, and less rainfall. But during the reversal period, during the habagat season, we could expect heavy rainfall. So ito yung tinatawag natin na dalawang extremes ang pwede nating maranasan during an El Nino. So, less rainfall and heavy rainfall pag habagat season. And yung secondary hazard naman ng mga primary hazards na ito, so if we have a higher temperature than the normal, it could have a risk in agriculture, especially it could ang ating mga crops could experience heat stress, and also it could have an increased incidence in pests and diseases. And mas mabilis yung evapotranspiration, kaya mas mabilis yung nagdadry yung ating mga pananim since the increase in evapotranspiration. And less rainfall naman, it could lead to dry spell and drought that could cause a decline in the production. Sometimes it's due to the late onset of the rainy season or short lang yung ating rainy season, mas matagal yung ating dry season, dry period. That could result in stunted growth or due to dryness, like mga underdeveloped kernel ng corn, which is already na ito sa Isabela na parang ito na yung nangyari doon last na report nila, and then the decline is like moisture availability na pwedeng makaka-apekto sa ating mga pananim. And for heavy rainfall naman, also it could affect the agriculture sector kasi it could result, and floods could result in crop souring, especially during the maturity stage. And it could nalalanta, it could submerge in flood water yung ating mga crops. And it could result in landslides, which is it could cause environmental degradation and damage to infrastructure that could result in deaths and injuries. And these are the sectoral impacts. For agriculture, this is just a general impact of El Nino, as already explained, that it's agriculture. And for the marine resources, also, it could result to fish kills and red tide and decline in fish production. But this is for general, so yung mga expert natin siguro sa BIFAR could have a more detailed ano dito. And then for the water resources, since rainfall is isang ano talaga na makaka-replenish na ating mga water sa ating mga dams, and also the groundwater could result to a reduced stream flow and groundwater due to less rainfall, a less water supply to the and quality for our dams, irrigation and power generation. And it could also result in the over-extraction of groundwater, especially those areas na gumagamit ng mga shallow tube wells. And for the human health, less water for hygiene and sanitation, may higher cost ng drinking water due to reduced supply, and increase also in tropical diseases like pulmonary and food and waterborne diseases. And for the environment, it also have increased incidence in forest or peatland fires or grass fires, and poor air quality. And this one are just examples of what we have, the two extremes na pwede maranasan during El Nino in 2004-2005, na bago nangyari yung meron tayong mga areas na affected by droughts, bago nun, nagkaroon tayo ng mga pagbabaha, lalo-lalo na ito yung Reyna noon sa apat na bagyo sa Real Infanta and General Nakar, na yung Unding, Violeta, Winnie, and Yoyo, na sunod-sunod ng bagyo na nagkaroon ng mga flash floods doon sa Quezon na grabe yung epekto. But after that, it resulted to drought din sa mga areas lalong-lalo na sa Luzon and Visayas and Mindanao after what happened, the dalawang extremes na ito. And then another one in 2009-2010, which is a strong El Nino. Yun din yung part ng si Undoy and Pepe happened in September, and magkasunod ito and in October, na kung saan nagkaroon ng sobrang pagbaha. But after that pagbaha, nagkaroon din ulit ng areas affected na walang ulan na result. Sunod-sunod na buwan that resulted also to drought, dry spell, and dry condition. And in the latest one is the 2018-2019, although weak lang siya, still nakaroon muna ng mga extreme events like yung may bagyo na si Ompong na September, bago nangyari yung dry spell and drought after this extreme rainfall and followed by the drought. At ano naman yung hazard cost na pwede mangyari pag may La Nina tayo? So, hindi lang natin pinakita dito na pwedeng dalawang extreme event din na mangyari during La Nina. But what is dito, talagang pag may La Nina tayo, mostly we expect a heavy rainfall that could result to floods and landslides. And still the risk here, pinakita dito is agriculture, pero talagang ito yung panahon na kung saan mas maraming pagbabaha at mga lalong-lalo na doon sa mga vulnerable areas like the eastern sections of the country ang natatamaan sa ng La Nina. And yung mga bagyo din na pwedeng magla-landfall or mas maraming bagyo ang pwedeng tumama sa atin sa Pilipinas. So these are the two events ng ating impacts of El Nino and La Nina sa Philippines. So dito, during El Nino, generally, we could expect drought, dry spell. So sa agriculture sector talagang tama. And then, for the water supply naman, ito yung naranasan natin, yung shortage na nagkaroon ng water rationing sa iba't ibang bahagi na lalong-lalo na dito sa Metro Manila. And then for La Nina naman, usually, we expect mga maraming areas affected by mga flooding, lalong-lalo na pag panahon ng Amihan season. And this one is the 2020 na manifestation ng La Nina kung saan may dalawang bagyo na tumaan. And this caused yung mga ibang weather systems then like the tail end of the cold front. Ito yung shear line na tinatawag na sa ngayon. This also resulted to flooding, especially in Tuguegarao area, in Cagayan area, due to the overflow of the Cagayan River Basin na kung saan ilang araw ito nalubog sa baha yung Cagayan. So ito yung panakaano talaga ng La Niña manifestation in the country especially during the November, December, January season. Kung saan ang mga bagyo din ay nagkakos sa Central Luzon or the Visayas area that could enhance the northeast monsoon and other weather systems. Yan, nasa Bobong City. And this one in 2006 na agaton na yung ating rate na yan. Then dito yung bagyo dumaan sa Visayas but ang maraming ulan is dito sa Luzon area. And also in Surigao in 2006. This is just a weak na La Niña pero in terms of the damage, maraming damage ito during that event. And this one is in 2022 na nagkaroon din ng impact dito sa Visayas area. Nagkaroon ng pagbaha due to Basyang, Typhoon Basyang and Agaton. This was in Visayas, in Baybay Leyte, and also this one also is in Leyte. Talagang baha usually. Ito naman impacts ng rainfall, annual rainfall. So ito, ang mga red na to, ibig sabihin El Niño years. Makikita natin na pag may El Niño, usually, ang talagang pinaka-impact niya is severe, from moderate to severe drought impacts pag may El Niño tayo. At pag may La Niña naman, usually yung mga blue na yan, La Niña years yan, usually way above normal condition ng ating rainfall to severe flood damage yung too. So yun ang general talaga, or ito yung talagang impact niya during the past na mga ENSO events. At in impact naman din sa temperature, this is the normal na variability, temperature variability since since the 1850s pa na temperature data. So makikita natin na there is a rise in temperature na dito yung trend niya is makikita na natin yung trend of nagkaroon na tayo ng climate change, global warming. But dito nakikita din natin na during El Niño years, ito naman yung panahon na kung saan mas mataas yung ating temperature kaysa doon sa normal variability niya. So in 2021, cooler, we had La Niña events and the temperature is lower than the global temperature, and in recent years affected by La Niña. And in contrast, in 2016, this is the warmest year on record, but this is already superseded in 2020. I think was boosted by a strong El Niño in 2016 then. So ito po yung associated temperature na increase associated with El Niño and La Niña events. But in the Philippines, this is the trend of our temperature. The mean temperature has been relatively warmer than decades ago. So the nighttime temperature, or this one is the minimum temperature, which is now, the trend is 0.16 per decade, is already 1.27 degrees Celsius an increase niya than the normal. The baseline is 1971 to 2000. And the maximum or the daytime temperature is 0.41. But our mean temperature anomaly is now 0.77, which increased from before. It's 0.65, now it's 0.77. Near na malapit na siya doon sa 9 degrees, 1 degree I mean. But yung ating temperature for the minimum temperature, now it's already 1.57 degrees. So, punta na tayo sa inyo update. Medyo matagal na yan. Ano na? So, this is... So, meron pa naman. So, this
Ang
is the
ENSO
ENSO
Alert and Warning System ng DOST-PAG-ASA ang siyang nagbibigay babala sa ating mga kababayan kung posible ba ang isang El Nino o La Nina event. Ito rin ang siyang nagsisilbing instrumento na naglalayong magbigay gabay para sa gagawing paghahanda ng ating pamahalaan, local government units, at mga climate-sensitive sectors tulad ng sa agrikultura para sa epektong dulot nito. Nahahati sa 4 na level ang ENSO Alert and Warning System na ini-issue ng pag-asa tuwing may El Nino o La Nina. Iyon ay ang Watch, Alert, Advisory at Final Advisory. Ang El Nino o La Nina Watch ay ini-issue kapag ang oceanic at atmospheric indicators ng Central at Eastern Equatorial Pacific ay nasa favorable conditions at ang tsansa o probability na may mabuo o ma-develop na isang El Nino o La Nina event ay umabot na ng 55% o higit pa sa susunod na 6 na buwan. Itinataas naman sa alert level ang warning na ini-issue kapag ang Oceanic Nino Index o yung tinatawag na ONI na katumbas ng positive 0.5 degrees Celsius o higit pa o negative 0.5 degrees Celsius o mas mababa pa ay inaasahan sa susunod na 2 hanggang 3 buwan at may 70% probability o tsansa na ito ay ma-develop. Ang pinakamataas na level naman ng warning ay ang advisory na kung saan ang isang El Nino o La Nina event ay kasalukuyang nangyayari na at inaasahan na magpapatuloy pa sa mga susunod na buwan. Ibinibigay naman ang final advisory kapag tapos na ang El Nino o La Nina event o kapag ang Central and Eastern Equatorial Pacific ay nasa neutral condition na. Ang ENSO Alert and Warning System ng pag-asa ay maaaring ihalintulad sa isang runner na naghahanda sa pagtakbo. Kapag nagsimula na ang monitoring and assessment ng pag-asa para sa isang El Nino o La Nina event, naglalabas ito ng mga sumusunod. Monthly Climate Assessment and Outlook o MCAO at Press Statement para sa kategoryang Watch. May kasamang Drought and Dry Spell Assessment naman kapag Alert at El Nino Advisories naman para sa kategoryang Advisories. Kapag naman natapos na ang El Nino o La Nina, ay nag-i-issue ang pag-asa ng tinatawag na Final Advisory. Ano-ano nga ba ang dapat gawin kapag nagsimula ng mag-issue ang ahensya ng mga alerts and advisories? Una, ugaliing manood ng mga buwanang forum na isinasagawa ng ahensya para magbigay updates sa magiging lagay ng ating klima sa mga susunod na buwan. Pangalawa, makinig sa mga payo ng lokal na pamahalaan sa kung anong mga hakbang ang kanilang gagawin base sa abiso ng pag-asa. At pangatlo, mag-imbak at magtipid ng tubig kapag may El Nino.
Right. Ayan. So, yun ang ating tinatawag DOST pag-asa ENSO Alert and Warning System we're in. Yun ang sinusunod nating protocol sa pag-issue natin ng Watch, Alert, Advisory, and then the Final Advisory base doon sa pinalawanag kanina sa ating video. So, we have issued the first na issuance natin ng El Nino Watch last year in March 2023. Ibig sabihin nun, we have just, during that time, meron tayong just nag-issue kami ng final advisory for La Nina din na nangyari before El Nino natin sa ngayon. Just for the preparedness and awareness na meron tayong binabantayan na developing El Nino during that time, and if the chance is 55% probability during that time, and it's expected na magiging tuloy-tuloy siya in the next 6 months, so we issued the first El Nino Watch in March 2023. And then, since we already closely monitoring this development of ENSO or El Nino, we issued the El Nino Alert in May. So, sa April, still El Nino Watch yung in-issue natin. And then in May, we issued the El Nino Alert since nakita na natin na yung kanyang chance or probability is already 70% or greater na magkakaroon tayo ng El Nino during that time. So we issued an alert. And ibig sabihin yan, we have to take early action na. So kung ano ba yung mga plans natin na during El Nino sa iba't ibang sektor ng ating pamahalaan, already we have to take early action. So nagpapalabas na rin yung PAG-asa, DOST PAG-asa, ng mga pre-assessment like El Nino dry spell areas, dry spell or drought areas na kung meron ng naapektuhan ng developing na El Nino during the time. And since nakita na natin na meron ng 8% or more and it is expected na in the next consecutive 5 consecutive na 3 months overlapping season, so we issued the first El Nino advisory in July 2023. And hanggang sa ngayon, it's still ongoing. At yung ibig sabihin pala, pag nag-issue na yung PAG-asa ng El Nino advisory, meaning we have to take action na. So, during the time, ang ating pamahalaan na nagkaroon ng pagpupulong or nagkaroon na tayo ng national El Nino team na reconvene, and then later on, nagkaroon na tayo ulit ng reconstitution and ng bagong national task force na El Nino. And during an advisory, we issue, instead pala na pinapalabas natin yung monthly climate assessment and outlook natin, we issued an El Nino advisory or kung may La Nina advisory, and then kasama doon yung assessment and outlook natin for the potential areas na magkakaroon ng dry spell, dry condition, dry spell, and drought, which is based doon sa ating rainfall na assessment and also forecast. And once na yung ating binabantayan na indicator is bumaba na siya dun sa 0.5, we issue the final advisory for El Nino or La Nina. Ibig sabihin El Nino or La Nina has ended, so we issue the final advisory. But we still have to assess and take action whenever necessary. Kasi sometimes there is still a lag effect of this event or phenomenon. And then we issue the press statement, the final advisory, pero tuloy pa rin ang ating pag-issue ng mga areas affected by dry spell or drought kung nakikita natin na meron pang areas na affected. So sa ngayon, we have already issued the La Nina Advisory number 9 together with the issuance ng ating La Nina Watch, which is last March 7. So ito muna yung mga impacts na ongoing natin na El Nino. Tulad ng ibang mga past events natin na El Nino, we have experienced the enhanced southwest monsoon during the habagat season as what is expected natin. During the June, July, August, September, nagkaroon tayo ng Tropical Storm Dodo na nagkaroon ng mga landslides sa maraming areas dito sa lalong-lalo na sa Luzon. And then, maraming areas at saka mga naapektuhan during the habagat, during the passage of Tropical Storm Dodong. But in terms of number of tropical cyclones, less yung ating number of tropical cyclones during this time, in 2023. So instead of the average 19 to 20, we just have 11 tropical cyclones. Ang impacts naman niya sa temperature, naranasan natin na mas mainit na temperature in December, January until February. Ibig sabihin, still malamig ikumpara mo sa ibang buwan ng taon, pero generally, ang anomaly niya o mas mainit siya kaysa doon sa normal na nararanasan natin na temperatura, ibig sabihin nito. So in December, maraming kulay-kulay, ibig sabihin the anomaly from 1 to 2 degrees Celsius from the normal yan. So mas mainit na yan. And then ito po yung mga tracks ng tropical cyclones na dumaan noong 2020. And in terms of areas naman affected by dry spell and drought, since October, ito yung ating assessment based on rainfall. So yung October, November, December natin, yung mga areas na affected, especially in Luzon, na affected na ng dry spell, dry condition up to dry spell in hanggang December, and until January and February, may mga areas na affected na ng drought, lalong-lalo na sa Luzon until February na assessment natin. We have 24 na affected by drought from Luzon and part of Visayas. And sa dry spell naman, we have 16 in February. So sa ngayon, we already issued the El Nino Advisory number 9 as well as the La Nina Watch. So in March 7, we issued a press statement for La Nina Watch and also the El Nino Advisory number 9. And it is stated there that already the El Nino is matured or nagkaroon na ng peak in December hanggang January. And then now it already shows signs of weakening, but majority of the climate models still suggest that it will continue until the March, April, May season and transition to NC neutral in April, May, June. But doon sa probabilistic forecast natin, makikita na there is an increasing probability din for La Nina development in June, July, August season. So ito yun. Makikita natin yung pulay-pulay, ibig sabihin yan, continue pa rin yung ating El Nino until the March, April, May. But in April, May, June, there is now the greater probability or chance ng NC neutral against dun sa El Nino, and then there is an increasing probability ng kulay blue na, ibig sabihin, there is increasing probability transition from El Nino NC neutral to La Nina conditions. And since it is already 55% chance pala na magkakaroon tayo ng El Nino, we issued the La Nina Watch. So this is the previous in February. And in yesterday, it issued the updated probabilistic ENSO forecast. So still, makikita natin na ang probability has increased from 55 to about 62% na for JJA or June, July, August, and in PC until the October, November, December season. So 5 consecutive seasons na nakikita natin na ang probability for La Nina has already increased. And this was the first statement issued in March 7 for La Nina and La Nina Advisory number 9 and La Nina Watch, as well as yung ating advisory for El Nino Advisory number 9, and this is for the simplified version. And this is the press conference na kinonduct noong March 7 for this issuance of El Nino Advisory number 9 and La Nina Watch, attended by the media people. And this is the statement from WMO na ang El Nino daw weakens but impacts continue. So sa ngayon, hindi tayo magpa-concentrate muna sa La Nina since we are still anticipating yung impact ng ating El Nino towards April or hanggang May mga areas pa na pwede maapektuhan ng ating dry spell and drought, or pwede siya mag-extend since pre-developing La Nina naman, ang kanyang impact sa atin is drier than normal din siya. We expect drier than normal. So parang nag-extend yung ating na mas mababa yung ulan pag may La Nina development din na dugtong ng ating El Nino. So the weather systems that could affect the country from March to August, still sa ngayon, pahina na yung ating amihan, and we will have a transition towards the southwest monsoon or habagat by May or June. Pero usually June na siguro ito. And then the localized thunderstorms na usually ito dominant during the transition period or mga April and May. And then yung mga shear line na ito, pag wala na yung ating northeast monsoon, pahina na rin ito, the frontal system shear line. And then the intertropical convergence zone or the IPCC is yung papunta na rin ito sa northern part of the country towards Luzon and the easterlies, April and May. And then the region of pressure, ganun din. Pag mainit yung panahon, ito yung mga dominant na weather systems and the low pressure areas and may bagyo, although may El Nino or La Nina tayo na in-anticipate. So these are the weather systems that could affect the country till August. And for the rainfall naman, in terms of percent of normal, so kulay pula, ibig sabihin less rainfall hanggang yellow, green to blue, meaning near to above normal. So dito makikita natin from March, April hanggang May, June, July, may mga areas pa, marami pang areas ang below normal and way below normal. And then, pagdating na ng August, marami ng areas ng green. But in Mindanao, we could expect na from May until August na near normal siya. But in Luzon, may areas pa rin tayo na pwede makaranas ng below normal rainfall. But we will update this in our next forum in next week in March 20 ang ating 170th na forum. So this is for the Region 3 lang. So makikita natin na from March to August, ang ating rainfall below normal, way below normal mostly in March, below normal pa rin mostly in April, May, June until July, and near normal siya sa August. But this is in terms of millimeter, dito na lang pala. So this is the percent of normal. Halos wala naman talaga siyang ulan pagdating ng panahon ng tag-init or dry season, March and April. Pero pagdating ng May hanggang August, nakikita natin na although below normal siya, but in terms of millimeter, mas marami na yung ulan. Papunta na siya sa mas maraming ulan hanggang August. Dito makikita natin na mas maraming ulan, lalong-lalo na dito sa western section of Region 3 Zambales, Bataan area, as well as ang Tarlac din. Mas nadadagdagan ng ulan pagdating ng habagat season. So makikita natin, although below normal dito, ito din yung amount of rainfall. Tingnan din natin. And for the dry spell and drought potential areas, so until March, April, hanggang May, ito yung ating ine-expect na mga areas that could still experience potential for drought conditions. Kasama na dito ang Tarlac. Kasama dito ang Tarlac. But pagdating ng August, since may mga pag-uulan na tayo, we expect na ito na lang yung areas na pwedeng maapektuhan ng drought conditions. Three from Luzon and 1 for dry spell. Ayan, para dry spell in March, at the end of March yung Tarlac. Pero pwede natin itong i-update based sa current natin na forecast na ulit. So this is updated monthly. So titingnan natin kung ano ba yung mga areas ang posible na maapektuhan base doon sa ating bagong forecast updated by March 20. In terms of temperature, still we expect warmer temperatures in May compared to doon sa normal. May, June, July hanggang August na expect natin. Lalong-lalo na dito sa Central Luzon na may mga areas pa rin na above normal or above average ang expect natin na temperature, which is warmer. And then pagdating naman sa extreme temperature, we could expect a higher temperature, especially in lowlands of Luzon, that could reach up to 39 degrees Celsius from April, May, June hanggang July. And heat index. So ito naman yung ngayon na parang na issue, yung init na panahon. But currently, mas bumaba yung ating heat index because nagkaroon na rin tayo ulit ng surge ng Northeast Monsoon. So nandyan pa rin yung ating amihan. So yung mga areas dito na yung isang araw ay halos mga puro oras, ngayon mas bumaba yung temperature natin na naranasan, kaya mas bumaba din yung ating heat index. At ito po yung ating na pwedeng gawin pag masyado mainit yung ating nararamdaman. So this is, kasi heat index is not the temperature na na-observe, this is a derived temperature from the dry bulb or the apparent temperature and also the relative humidity or gaano ka ang moisture in the air. Kaya nagkakaroon ng maalinsangan, mas lalong mainit yung nararamdaman ng tao. But we have precautionary or pwede natin ma-prevent yung sobrang init by doing these things like limit alam natin na mainit, so we have to limit our time spending outdoors or use open areas. So we have to spend indoors and then drink plenty of water, avoid yung mga tea, coffee, or soda, and also liquor. And we have to have protection like wearing of umbrellas, hats, and yung mga hindi masyadong makapal na clothing. And then yung mga heavy duty activities natin, i-ano natin na yung hindi yung kasagsagan ng init ng araw. When it's cooler. So ito yung ating mga precautionary measures para maiwasan natin yung sobrang init ng panahon. Also, ito na rin ang pagkasagsagan ng palapit na tayo sa warm and dry season. So, pwede na nating gawin yung mga precautionary measures. Alamin natin yung ano ba ang dapat nating gawin para hindi natin maranasan yung mga heat exhaustion, heat cramps, and also heat stroke. If you are already have mga comorbidities, ito yung mga vulnerable na mga tao na pwedeng talagang mag-ingat if we have the warm and dry season na or yung mataas na talaga yung ating index. And also sa ating mga pagkain, yung mabilis yung pagka-contaminate or mapanis. So talagang ingatan din natin yun. Pag alam natin na na-expose na siya tagal sa hindi nakaref, pag-ingatan natin iba kasi mas mabilis yung mga food poisoning during this time din of during this season. And ang bagyo naman in terms of tropical cyclones, we expect 6 to 9 from March to August, and still 0 or 1, March to April, May and June is 1 or 2, and then 2 or 3 for July and August. And usually, pag ang mga tracks mga bagyo natin, pag papunta na tayo sa May, June, July, August, papunta na siya sa Luzon, from Central Luzon up to Northern Luzon, to extreme Northern Luzon area until September yan. Then October, ito naman yung mga usual tracks sa mga bagyo. Crossing na siya towards Northern Luzon, Central Luzon, as well as papuntang Visayas area. And then November, December, usually yung mga tracks ng bagyo natin is over Southern Luzon or Visayas area or Northern Mindanao area. So I think this is the last slide for summary. Still, El Niño Advisory number 9 and La Niña Watch tayo. And then, I have already naman mentioned yung in terms of rainfall for Region 3 lang, generally, way below normal naman halos yung March and April, and May to August is below to near normal ang ating pwedeng maranasan. And tropical cyclones at temperature below average to warmer than average at 6 to 9 tropical cyclones. So, I think this is the last slide. Actions taken by the OST Pag-asa. Continuous yung ating monitoring for this event for El Niño as well as the developing La Niña. And then we conduct regular climate forums. So sa ngayon we will have the 170th na climate forum sa March, so next week sa Wednesday. And then yung regular naman yung attendance natin and sa mga meetings and also various government agencies and other institutions na mga technical working group meetings, and then so task force, regular yung ating pag-update and the dissemination of forecasts and advisories, leadership interviews like the media. And then also the DOST Pag-asa is instrumental in the formulation and the reactivation of Executive Order number 53 pala, series of 2024, or the reactivation of the El Niño task force El Niño. So yung ating ENSO alert and warning system is one of the instruments na ginamit para to come up with this noong una, the National El Niño Team or NENT on, and then through the Executive Order number 53 na naging yun ang ginamit. Yun ang reactivation of the El Niño task force. And also, Pag-asa is also one of the oversight for the development of the National El Niño Platform or the ENO. And this is the member ng Task Force El Niño through the EO 53. It is overall head is the Department of National Defense through the chairperson of the NDRRMC Secretary Gibo Chodoro, and then co-chaired by Secretary of the OST. And these are the member agencies, government agencies, DNR, DA, DOH, and NEDA. as well as other action agencies like the DOE, the ILG, the SWD, DTI, DDM, the ICT, PCO, and the OC. So, yun, we conduct monthly forums, and then also we have monthly updates up to the next 6 months, and then conduct kami ng mga regional forums as well as the El Nino forums. And last 169 forum as well as the national forum, and then kinundak namin in February 27, and then which will be followed nitong 170th this coming next Wednesday. So I think that will be all. Thank you very much for listening. Sorry, napakahaba.
So, ayan. No, thank you so much po, Ma'am Rusy, for that superb presentation. No? Ang dami po naming natutunan about El Nino, La Nina, and of course, climate outlook. So before po tayo mag-proceed sa ating Q&A, pwede po bang paki-open muna ng ating mga camera for the photo opportunity? Ayan, makikisuyo na lang po Ma'am Dang po to capture yung ating mga participants. Ayan, pasuyo na lang po, pa-open ng ating mga cameras. Ayan, sige po.
Hi po.
Okay, ready na ba Ma'am Dang?
Yes po. Smile.
Okay, first slide. 1, 2, 3, smile.
Okay.
Okay, second slide naman po. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, may third slide pa ba? Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile. So, ayan. Dumako naman po tayo ngayon sa ating Q&A portion kung saan po ang unang 5 participants po na magtatanong ay magkakaroon po ng 100 pesos worth of load. Kaya dyan sa ating mga participants po, naka-ready na ba ang ating mga questions? So, ayan. Dito po, unahin po natin yung mga nandito sa chat box, yung mga unang nagtanong kanina. Si Ma'am Jane De Leon. So, ito po yung tanong niya, no? Always po bang magkakaroon ng La Nina after El Nino? So, ayun po. Ma'am Rusy.
Okay. Ang question is sorry. Ang question is, always ba nagkakaroon ng El Nino after El Nino after El Nino?
Yes.
Yun ba yun? So, hindi always, pero usually, after an El Nino or La Nina, may ano muna, may ENSO neutral. And then, merong cases na after a La Nina, followed by another La Nina. Yung ganun, hindi siya, ano talaga, na after an El Nino, followed by El Nino. There are cases na matagal muna ang transition or mas maraming seasons na neutral conditions bago magka-La-Nina. So, hindi siya lahat ng cases na we have a transition for, yung recurrence pala ng El Nino is every 2 to 7 years, ang La Nina naman is 4 to 6 years.
Okay, ma'am. Maraming salamat po. So, may questions din po si ma'am dito sa ating chat box, si ma'am Kayla Aguilar. So, what are the negative impacts of El Nino or La Nina to the economic sector?
Okay, so lahat naman ng may adverse at saka merong positive din. So usually mas depende kasi sa timing ng ating, for example muna, since pag-usapan muna natin ng El Nino. Depende iyon sa timing. Usually, pag may El Nino tayo, lalong-lalo na pag yung in agriculture, nasa vegetative stage or bago sila magtanim. So kung less yung ating ulan, not enough for the water requirement ng isang crops natin, for example, palay, so ang negative impact niyan, syempre hindi tayo makapag ng malaki, ng yield, depende sa yield, or pwedeng mamatay yung ating mga tanim kung ano yung depende sa ating itatanim na kung enough ba yung ating tubig doon na nagagamitin. So we have to have come up with a plan kung halimbawa meron tayong El Nino. So dapat alamin natin through our mga experts from the Department of Agriculture, which are yung mga technicians natin, kung ito ba yung, using the pag-asa forecast, for example, kung ito ba yung ating forecast for this particular month, kung saan ito na yung ating cropping season, titingnan natin kung pwede ba tayo magtanim ng palay if the forecast rainfall is less doon sa water requirement natin. So pwede siya magiging batayan natin yung forecast sa pag-asa para ma-negate natin yung negative impact na maaaring idudulot ng El Nino or La Nina vice versa. Kasi ang La Nina naman, extremes, we could have two extremes for a particular event. For example, if La Nina, alam natin na heavy rainfall usually yan if the season is towards the last quarter of the season. So, ang crops kasi natin, ayaw niya ng sobra-sobrang tubig, ayaw niya ng kulang sa tubig. So that we need just enough. So, kailangan natin alamin para maibsan yung negative impact doon sa ating sa ating particular na crop, especially in the agriculture, to have to ensure our food security.
Okay, so ayun po, no? Thank you so much po again, Ma'am Rusy, for answering that question. So, another question po from Ma'am Jane De Leon. Ano po yung factor bakit mas mataas yung parang field temperature kesa sa actual temp? Siguro ma'am yung binabanggit dito ni Ma'am Jane, yung parang bakit mas mataas siguro yung parang nararamdaman natin na temperature kesa sa actual temperature na ano natin, na may measure.
Yes, ayun tulad ng pinakita ko kanina siguro yung site index because that is the combination ng yung heat index kasi is a combination of the observed na dry bulb temperature as well as the relative humidity or the moisture amount, the amount of moisture in the air. So mas mainit lalong-lalo na pag mataas yung relative humidity, ibig sabihin mataas na yung moisture ng tubig sa hangin. Kaya less na yung ating yung mag-evaporate yung ating, halimbawa, yung init, kaya natatrap na yung init, kaya mas mainit yung apparent heat doon. Ang sensible heat, parang ko na siya. Yung basta yung halimbawa, observed temperature is the air temperature lang yan, plus yung factor ng relative humidity, kaya mas mainit, umalinsangan pa rin kaysa doon sa observed or measured na temperature.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much po again for answering that question. So another question po from Sir Eugene Kapati. So Sir Eugene, pwede ka ba naming makita? Paki-open na lang yung cam at mic para may tanong natin kay ma'am itong ating questions. Sir Eugene. Ayan. 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 Sige, basahin ko na lang po yung questions ni Sir Eugene. What are the various ways po to reduce the effects of ENSO?
Maraming pwede natin gawin. No? Depende sa sector kasi yan. So, siguro, kung saan sector ang ating pinitingnan to reduce the effect. So, yun nga, tulad na sinabi ko kanina, meron nga yung sa DA, meron na sila mga strategic plans, anong dapat gawin. Per sectoral, meron na sila mga mitigation and strategies and plans para maibsan yung epekto ng El Nino or La Nina man. So, per sector, they have already plans and programs na nakaano na doon sa kanilang long-term na mga programs. And this is also through the task force na meron ng mga sectoral plans na nabubuo, national action plans, doon sa El Nino task force natin na pwedeng gawin ng bawat sector para maibsan na itong negative impacts natin. And so, El Nino man yan or La Nina particular.
Okay, thank you so much po again, Ma'am Rusy. So ngayon naman po tinatawagan ko si from LDRRMO San Clemente, si Sir Rafael Rosete. Paano na lang sir, pa-open po ng cam and mic natin para po may tanong natin kay Ma'am Rusy itong ating question. Ay, okay. Wala daw mic si sir. So ayun, ma'am. Ito po yung tanong niya, ma'am. Makakapag-produce po ba ang government natin, especially the Department of Agriculture ng rice variants na may mas mataas na survival rate or kayang mag-adapt sa La Nina effects?
Yes. I think, sir, meron na mga variety, na, yung mga variety na yung submergent, anong tawag doon, na pwede siyang maka-adapt doon sa mga flooding, or submergent rice variety ba? Basta yung sa DA, meron na silang ganyan na pwedeng gamitin pag merong La Nina na it could survive sa flooding. I think DA, meron na silang mga to fill rice through Erie, may mga ganyan na variety. And then, pag ano naman, pag yung El Nino naman, since less yung ating tubig, meron ding variety na pwede siyang mga drought tolerant as well as flood tolerant na mga varieties ng palay natin or crops. Palay siguro to yun rice variants nga.
Yan,
I think
okay,
sa
ma'am.
DA po.
Okay po. Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay. Si ma'am ano naman po, ma'am Christine Florendo from Tarlac City, DRRMO. Hello, ma'am. Pa-open na lang po ng ating mic. So, ayan. Nandiyan ba si ma'am Christine po? Christine Florendo from Tarlac City, DRRMO. So, okay. Wala din daw mic si ma'am. Ito po yung questions niya. Malaki po ba ang tsansa kaya na maulit ang nangyari last Typhoon Ondoy na merong napakadaming buhos ng ulan?
Yes, siguro. Hindi natin yan maano na hindi pwedeng maulit-uli yung mga nangyari na yung maraming ulan ang dala-dala ng ating mga bagyo. Lalong-lalo na yung mga bagyo na less yung wind, yung speed, yung mga mababa lang yung tropical storm category or depression ng sometimes na mas maraming ulan ang dulot, ang dala-dala. At saka kasi mas mabagal yung takbo niya, yung parang nakakoncentrate yung ulan niya. Halimbawa, sa isang lugar, less yung ano niya, doon nakakonsentrate yung ulan niya, doon nabubuhos. Kaya pwedeng magkaroon ng mga pagbaha. So yung undoy naman, talagang ano naman talaga ng undoy is, kasi in 6 hours na binuhos na ulan during that time is, I think 355 millimeters. And then, yung isang araw lang niya is more than the monthly normal na ng ulan na yun. Pero hindi siya imposible na mangyari ulit because of what is happening right now. Lalo-lalo na pag meron tayong conducive yung ating environment, mas mainit, mas maraming moisture. So, pwede mangyari. And during that time, yung Ondoy is not El Nina, it's still El Nino. During September 26, 20, kalimutan, 2009, I think. 2009. September 26, 2009. And that is a bagat season pa. So, talagang pag may bagyo, kailangan talaga natin sa rapid onset ng mga disaster, talagang dapat maghandaan. Monitoring and proper na talagang makinig sa ating mga weather forecasters, sa ating mga sa NDRRMC, pag sinabi mag-evacuate. Kasi pwede naman nating maiwasan ang hindi natin ma-prevent yung isang disaster or na mangyari kasi hindi natin ma-prevent yung bagyo, hindi natin ma-prevent yung El Nino, hindi natin ma-prevent yung La Nina. But we could have to protect ourselves, pwede natin magpaghandaan. So preparedness as well as yung cooperation sa ating mga gobyerno na kung ano yung advice, makinig tayo para hindi na mangyari ulit yung nangyari din sa Ondoy na yung iba, hindi naka-evacuate agad. So yun na yung nangyari.
So ayan, no, thank you so much po again, Ma'am Rusy, for that very informative na answer sa mga questions po ng ating mga participants. So ayun po, no, meron pa po tayong prize for sa mga magtatanong. So ngayon po, congratulations po kay Ma'am Christine ng Tarlac City DRRMO and Sir Rafael Rosete of San Clemente LDRRMO and kay Ma'am Jean De Leon and kay Sir Eugene Kapati. So yung iba pa po nating participants, baka may mga questions pa po dyan. So kapag nagtanong po tayo, magkakaroon po tayo ng 100 pesos worth of load. Yes po. Si sa ating po mga winners, no, paki-message na lang po ang inyong number sa aming Facebook at Department of Science and Technology Tarlac para po ma-claim natin yung ating prize. So ayan, parang wala na po yatang questions ang ating mga participants dito sa Zoom. Okay, so again, thank you so much po, Ma'am Rusy Abastillas, for answering yung mga questions ng ating mga participants na napaka-informative po at talagang nakakatulong at napapanahon ngayon na nagkakaroon tayo ng El Nino at La Nina. So may evaluation din po tayo, no, na ipa-flash a screen after. So please evaluate to get your e-certificates. So ayan. We'll proceed naman po sa ating awarding of certificates. Let me read the citation. Republic of the Philippines, Department of Science and Technology Regional Office 3 awards this certificate of appreciation to Ms. Rusy G. Abastillas in grateful recognition and commendation for sharing her valuable time, knowledge, and expertise as resource speaker during the conduct of Tech Tips 014 What's with El Nino, held on March 15, 2024 via online video conference given this 15th day of March 2024. Signed, Dr. Julius Cesar V. Sicat, Regional Director. So once again po, thank you so much, Ma'am Rusy, for accepting our invitation. Until next time po. So that's it. Hopefully, marami po tayong natutunan today. Kaya naman po, for more informative and inclusive tech tips, join na po tayo sa susunod pang mga tech tips episodes. Atin naman po mga participants, please evaluate QR code or link na nasa ating screen. Makikita nyo din po sa ating chat box. Muli, thank you so much for attending our webinar and please follow our Facebook page at Department of Science and Technology Tarlac. See you on the next Tech Tips. Bye!
Thank you, Ma'am Rusy. Thank you, Ma'am Roxanne. Thank you, everyone.